This video has solid information, a clear target audience, and it still struggles with inconsistent views. In this video, I want to break down why, not from an opinion standpoint, but from a structure and pattern standpoint. By the way, this is not about the creator being wrong. This is about how YouTube interprets structure, audience clarity, and delivery. This video I'm analyzing is called How to Create Booking Systems for Your Cleaning Business Step-by-Step Guide. And the creator teaches cleaning business owners in Nigeria how to systemize and scale their operations. She also sells products that you can clearly see in the description, a couple of them, like a one-on-one cleaning consultation and a rate card and other services. So YouTube is clearly a part of our business funnel. People see our videos, and if they resonate, they click in one of these links, and maybe they first purchase the $7 one, and then they go up to the $70 one, and they're in their funnel. Before talking about what can be improved, it's important to acknowledge what's actually working. The creator is clearly experienced. I've watched this video a couple of times, and she really gives in-depth analysis and information about how you can actually scale your business, how to create your booking systems, and really broadened knowledge on the topic. The advice itself is, like I said, practical and comes from real-world experience. This is important because it means that growth issues are not coming from lack of expertise that you may see in other videos. This means that the structure is what is holding back the growth and of her making a lot more money and finding a lot more clients thanks to YouTube's algorithm than she is right now. Let's talk about the first issue. She has a really long hook. It takes her a lot of time to get to the actual point and to break down of how to actually create booking systems for my cleaning business if I have one. The first thing I notice is the opening structure. The video starts by explaining the problem, being overwhelmed by calls and WhatsApp messages, which is a real pain point for people who are dealing with this business. However, the idea is repeated several times before the viewer clearly understands what they will gain by staying. And this is really visible if you just quickly look at the intro.
I believe there's still a lot of cleaning business owners that people still chat you up at 11 a.m., 12 a.m., and you still just have to answer your bookings. You still have to answer those calls just to make sure your business is afloat.
So in this first seconds, she states the problem, which is really good. You know, people are reaching up to me at 11 a.m. and stuff, and I need to systemize it and create a booking system. Okay, so let's look at from around 13 seconds to 20 seconds.
Now, if you find yourself in this situation, then you have a problem with your booking systems. And in this video, I'm going to be teaching you how to actually create a perfect cleaning booking system for your own business.
Here she gives the promise of what people will get after watching this whole video, but then the problem is that from around 25 seconds to 40 seconds, she repeats the problem she stated in the beginning again.
In a situation whereby you always have to be available to answer calls, to pick calls, to also always follow up with WhatsApp messages, then you need to watch this video to the end. By the end of this video, you already understand how to actually create a booking system for your cleaning business.
And again, she repeats the problem once more. So she could have easily trimmed down this 1 minute hook, and this goes on for around like 2 minutes of her getting to the point. She could have easily trimmed this down to 30 seconds. And the thing also is, she doesn't have a no concrete by the end you will X, especially in the hook for YouTube's algorithm and also for the viewers, because the algorithm is defined by the people watching it. And if the viewer doesn't have any clear information on what she will get by the end of this video, she will most likely click off after a minute, especially because she keeps repeating the problem that she states over and over again. In the first 20 to 30 seconds, the viewer always subconsciously asks one single question. What will be different for me by the end of this video? What will I gain? And the value here is really there. Like if you go after 2 minutes, still some problems, but it is still valuable. But it's delayed. And this matters because early retention heavily affects how YouTube distributes the video to other people, especially in Nigeria and her domestic target audience. Even good content can underperform if the promise is not made early. To summarize the first issue, because YouTube's retention is decided in the first 15 to 30 seconds, her repeating it and not giving a "you will get this at the end of the video" promise is damaging the retention rate and average watch time of the video. So here repetition doesn't mean clarity, and the fact that viewer still doesn't know what exactly will I walk away with is the problem. The second pattern I notice is a relationship between video length and structure. This video is over 20 minutes long, which is not a problem by itself because the YouTube algorithm, especially in the last 2 to 3 years, rewards longer videos because of the short form content providing the short form videos. Long videos can thus perform very well, but only when the structure is extremely clear, and that's why making long videos is really difficult, because like you can see here, a video from Alex Hormozi is 40 minutes, and I bet that the reason he's so successful is mainly because he structures his videos perfectly. In this case, many important ideas are explained thoroughly, but similar concepts repeat across different sections. For example, the pricing logic, the booking systems, and scaling are revisited multiple times. Now I understand it as someone who's trying to grow their business and make money through YouTube as the main traffic conversion medium. Talking about the pricing logic, the booking system, and scaling, showing your expertise is really important. But if it's not in a structured way, it can, from a viewer's perspective, feel really mentally heavy. And that's not because the content is bad, but because there are no clear mental checkpoints. Now we can see it. She introduces the 4 elementary parts around the first minute mark.
So the service location of whoever you'll be serving. Secondly, you want to know the date and time. What time, what date do they need the service? Third, you want to know the customer details. And fourth is the payment information. These criteria are the elementary part of every booking system.
So here she introduces the 4 elementary parts, which the cleaning business owner has to do. Then she immediately goes deep into explanations around this mark.
Most of the time, I see a lot of cleaning business feel like, oh, they have to know the space, they need to get the description of the space, or maybe, sorry.
So she basically talks about debating inspection videos. But the problem here is that she stated something really important that is the key for the whole video, the 4 elementary parts. And before thoroughly explaining every point and giving the viewer a clear idea of what they will get along this video, she jumps into debating inspection videos, and then around 150 mark into business philosophy.
Justice to the intensity of the debt.
This is a problem because the viewer hears 4 parts but doesn't feel the progression of the promise of it. There are no mental checkpoints, and in long form content, if there is no structure of the points you give, especially relatively early in the video, the viewer will feel the fatigue, and this then will increase the drop-off even among viewers who actually want the information. Now I understand that this can be really difficult as someone who has a lot of expertise and a lot of knowledge about the topic. If it's not scripted, telling it to the camera with maybe a couple of bullet points is really difficult to structure it. That's why it's important to kind of understand what route you will be going when you're making the video, especially in the hook. And then, as it happens in this video, if you kind of go off-road, it's okay because you've already captured the viewer's attention and gave them a clear understanding in the beginning of the video. Also, what I want to talk about is the repetition that comes from the unstructured video. If we go to around 2:30 mark, you will see that she will debate the pricing setup.
I'm going to explain to you, and I'm going to give you reasons why. One thing you need to bear in mind that if any of these criteria is missing, then you do not have a proper booking system. Next, we'll be talking about the types of booking system. Now, let's start from the level 1, which is the manual type of booking system.
And then if we go to around 450 mark.
What if you fix prices with this 2-bedroom?
It's the same pricing philosophy again. And then if you go around 6 minutes mark.
You don't want to when it comes to service, you can never have equality in everything.
From this point, for again a minute, she reinforces the same idea again. This is a problem, again, because educational creators often confuse thoroughness with progress. And the viewer feels like, come on, I already got this. I want to keep moving forward. And that's why a drop off increases, even if they agree and even if they have gotten the thorough advice from the expert. The third issue I want to talk about is the audience inconsistency. This is one of the biggest channel level issues I notice across a lot of the educational videos. Some videos on the channel, like this one, are aimed at homeowners or general cleaning tips. Cleaning supplies for your residential cleaning business. Now, it clearly states cleaning business in the title, which is a plus, but most likely than not, people who click on this video, and the reason that this has a lot more views than this one, or even this one, which is uploaded around the same time, is because there's a lot more Nigerian women out there who want to have cleaning supplies for their own residency. And these are two very different audiences compared to the one we looked at here. Like I said, here it's going to be most likely the housewives. Here it's going to be semi-professional or professional people with an ambition to start a cleaning business. When a channel mixes audiences, like YouTube struggles to understand who to recommend the channel to. And then the viewers also struggle to know whether they should subscribe or not, because are they now getting the homeowner stuff or are they like getting the cleaning business content? And if they're not a cleaning business owner, then it's going to be really confusing to see these videos in their feed. So this often results in inconsistent views. Not because the content is weak, but because the audience signal is unclear. The first issue is the title, thumbnail, and expectation gap. It's really important in the game of YouTube, especially as a funnel for your business, to talk about the expectations. The title promises a step-by-step guide to creating a booking system, which the video does deliver, but the delivery is very broad and conceptual. Some viewers may expect a more tactical walkthrough, while the video focuses more on mindset, the structure, and decision making. So even though it is a step-by-step manual on creating a booking system, it's more about the philosophy in it and not the tactical, tangible steps to creating the actual booking systems for my cleaning business. And this mismatch can slightly hurt retention, even if the advice is valuable. So either what you can do is to not have this expectation gap between the title, which is the promise, and then the content, which is a delivery, is to either change the title or change the content itself. Because here, if she wrote how to have or how to cultivate the right philosophy for your booking systems for your cleaning business or something in those lines, a lot of people will probably watch this video and be like, okay, she absolutely knows what she's talking about, and she subconsciously delivered to the promise she gave. So I'm going to subscribe, and I'm also going to check out her product. And even if I'm not going to buy it right now, I'm going to keep in touch with her because I live in Nigeria and I have the intention to start a cleaning business. And also around 6:20 mark, around here.
This for your services, you have your confirmation message. And this can be done by using some booking tools. You can use 35 Pro, you can use Kindly Book Me, which I just found out and is really, really incredible. You can use Simply Book Me.
What she does here is that she mentions multiple tools, talks about the pros and cons, and eventually gives her recommendation. But this is a problem because here there's a tool overload. Imagine yourself as a viewer and you're looking at this video and you just want to start your cleaning business. And you want to create a booking system, which is one of the first steps to actually getting into the business, whether it's cleaning or whatever. And then you hear a lot of tools and it's going to hit you like, wow, what do I have to choose now? There are so many tools. And the effort of the viewer increases, which then leads to the decision fatigue kicking in. So it's really important as a YouTuber to know your target audience. If you're talking to experts, then you can of course give all these tools and say, these are all the tools I use. You probably know a couple of them, but right now I really love working with this. But because you're talking to beginners who don't really have an idea of any of these tools, you should mention one of them, explain it on surface level what it is and what you think about it before summing up all of them. Because when too many tools are introduced without a clear decision rule, viewers often get overwhelmed, and simplicity often retains better than completeness. The fifth issue is the monetization and the call to action timing. Another subtle pattern is how the call to action is handled. The video teaches systems and scaling, but the viewer is not clearly guided towards the next step with the creator until very, very late. So of course, when business owners, including me, when we make a video to educate people, the main reason is to get attraction to our own business. And the reason we do that is because we want to grow our own business. But when we give the call to action very late in our video, that just results in one thing, especially in videos that are not structured very well. Only 1 or 2% from the viewers who clicked on the video will maybe get to that call to action, which is still a high percentage. And if you have low views and inconsistent views, then that's going to lead to inconsistent bookings and inconsistent clients. And the problem here is that around the 20-minute mark, and the video is 21 minutes.
Environment. Now let me give you a recap of all the tools I already mentioned earlier and see which one works for you depending on your level that you are in your clinic business.
And the call to action here doesn't happen until very late, and there actually isn't even a clear call to action. So the viewer is thanked at the end, the tools are recapped, and there's a soft engagement task at the end that says, oh, you can also buy me a coffee, which isn't bad. It's actually a really smart system if your main priority is to get views and to build your audience first. But from looking at her business, she has a lot of credibility and a lot of products that she's selling. So having a call to action will actually lead her to getting more clients to her business because she already has a credibility, which then leads to her not really having to focus on having an audience. So for educational creators using YouTube as a business tool, aligning content with a clear next step is absolutely crucial, not aggressively, but clearly. And this is here a missed opportunity, especially for viewers who are already convinced. To summarize, the challenges here in this lady's channel, and more specifically her video, are not about knowledge or effort. I absolutely admire her expertise and her knowledge, and I watched a couple of her other videos too. But what I said to her is actually applicable to a lot of educational creators. The problems here are about early clarity, structural density, audience consistency, and expectation alignment. And the good thing is fixing these doesn't require better content, because this lady already has really good content. It requires better organizational value and the statistical analysis of the videos. If you're a solo educator using YouTube to sell a product or a service, I do structured channel audits like this privately. I analyze patterns across your content and show you where growth and clarity are leaking. You can find the link in the description if you want this done for your channel. Thank you. I'll see you on the next one.